teach you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who you are according to the Bible. Now, Monty, I was talking to you, we was building, right? So come over here, check this out real quick. What we come out here to do is show the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who they are according to the Bible.
That's right!
Because for so long, we've been discontinued from our heritage. We have not known who we were in the Bible, right? Because let me ask you a question. What is your nationality? African American, right? But before African American, which is the name of two white men, who were we? My man. Let me ask you a question, sir. Let me ask you the same question I asked him. Before we were called African American, who were we?
Who are we?
Yes.
The original people of the earth.
The original people of the earth? Okay. Give me Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. This is the thing. Us as so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we don't know who we are.
That's right.
That's the real answer. We don't know. We have no idea. Y'all on the bus stop. We are showing our people who we are. We are the Israelites. Watch this. Read.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3.
So listen up. What's your name? Henry and Monty. Sis, what's your name? Josefina. Okay. You see yourself on that sign? Where do you see yourself at? What's your so-called nationality? Native. Watch this. I'm going to show you because you said native. They said black. One said African American. We confused. Watch this. Read.
The ox knoweth his owner.
So God said the ox knoweth his owner. An ox is a what? Dumb animal. But it knows who it belongs to. Read.
And the ass his master's crib.
An ass. What is an ass? A donkey. God said a donkey knows its master's crib, meaning what? It knows its home. It knows its homeland. What is ours? What is our homeland? Africa. Where in Africa though?
The Garden of Eden.
Garden of Eden. Where is that at?
By the tigers in the Euphrates.
Well, where? You got to be more specific. Where is our homeland? Africa. You don't know. You said Africa. What about you, sis? You don't know. Watch this. Read.
But Israel does not know.
What did the Bible say?
But Israel does not know.
God said the Israelites would not know who they are. What does that make us? Because I just asked all three of y'all our nationality and identity. We didn't know. But why though? What happened to us to make us not know who we are, our history? Because you said you so-called Native American, right? What happened to the so-called Native Americans that therefore they lost their identity? The land was taken from them, right? This land. What happened to the so-called blacks that caused us to lose our identity? Tell. The same thing, right? You agree? The same thing. Now watch this. Is that in the Bible? That we lost our identity? It is. I'm going to show you. Watch this. Give me Jeremiah 17 verse 4. Then we're going to go into the curses because you see these signs? This is just not for show. These signs are historical proof to prove who we are today.
That's right.
A lot of times during like Black History Month, they like to teach us about slavery. They like to teach us that we was nothing. They like to teach us about Martin Luther King and all these things. But God gave us this history to identify ourselves in the last days.
Bring it out.
Watch this. Read.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4.
Now watch this. Pay attention because I'm going to ask y'all some questions when these scriptures come out. Watch this.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage.
So God said what? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, he said we would discontinue from our heritage. Now let me ask you a question. What is a heritage? I'm going to start with you.
Your heritage?
What is an heritage?
It's like an inheritance, so it's your genealogy, where you come from.
Okay, genealogy, where you come from. What else? I want you to add on. No.
Okay.
No. Put it down. Put it down. Throw it in that garbage right there. Don't defile yourself. Don't defile your temple. Don't defile your temple. The Bible is coming out.
Right.
Even when when the Bible is not coming out, you shouldn't be smoking at all.
Right.
You shouldn't be doing those things. Let me get that real quick, because before we go into heritage, I have to get this law because this is the sin I just seen. So this is love.
Okay.
When we see our brothers in the midst of sin, we have to correct them. And we're going to go back to our history. Watch this. Read that.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3 and verse 16.
Why are we reading this? Because what? Y'all battle with what? Cigarettes.
Right.
Now, what do we have to do to get over that? We need the Bible. We need the laws of God. This is what's going to heal us and change our minds. Read.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
So what does that mean? God said, don't you know you're the temple of God?
Right.
Meaning what?
Meaning
You're special. You're not just regular.
Right.
You're a God on the earth.
Right.
You're supposed to be moving as a God.
Right.
Does a God kill itself?
Negative.
Does a God put cancer in his body?
Negative.
No. So this is what God has commanded us. He said, don't you know you're the temple of God? For real, don't you know you're the temple of God? Watch this list. I want you to pay attention. Read.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man defiles the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
Read it again from the top.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man defiles the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
So right there, God said, if any man defiles the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
Bring it on.
What does that mean? Yo.
If you defile and destroy his temple, then he will destroy you.
But how though? Pertaining to the topic, pertaining to what you was about to do before I stopped you. What is God saying right there?
That if you defile your body, then he'll destroy your
By doing what though? Don't leave, Darrell.
body.
Don't leave, because it's for you. Monty, my fault. Don't leave, Monty, because it's for you too.
I know. You on the camera.
By defiling
You on
his
the
temple.
camera.
Uh-huh.
Or destroying his temple.
How though?
With foreign.
I'm going to make it plain for you. I'm going to help you out. Read it again. I'm going to make it plain for you.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?
God said his spirit wants to dwell inside of you. But you have to be doing certain things for him to flourish inside of your spirit.
Right.
Read.
If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
God say, if you defile your temple, God say he's going to destroy you. Meaning what? You smoking those cigarettes is what's causing your destruction. It is causing you to die sooner. That's what cancer come into play. That's where all these diseases, lung cancer come into play. And we end up dying quicker than we were supposed to. Because what? We have disobeyed the commandments of God. Did you know that was one of the curses to identify us as a people? I want you to pay attention. Pay attention and listen. Deuteronomy 28 now. Watch this. I want you to pay attention because we read that law. Remember, God gave us commandments. Because we broke his commandments, this happened to us. You hear that? Sis, because we broke God's commandments, this happened to us. Watch this. Deuteronomy 28 verse 15. I want you two to pay attention. Watch this. Listen. Listen right now. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
So here it's saying, it shall come to pass. Is that past tense or is that in the future?
It's a declaration.
In the future. In the future, right? We agree. So this is Moses speaking to who? The Israelites. Come over here. I want you to listen. What's your name? Janae. Okay, watch this, Janae. This is Moses speaking to the Israelites. My man, come back. Henry. Come on, Henry. The bus come every 30 minutes. You'll be all right. Watch this. God said, Janae, it shall come to pass. Read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So God told us it shall happen in the future through Moses. He was speaking to the Israelites. You see yourself on that sign? The names on the right is what we was called in slavery. The names on the left is what God gave us. So if you consider yourself a so-called African American today, you would be from the tribe of Judah, according to the Bible. That's the same tribe as Christ.
Right.
The true depiction of Christ, a black man, came
That's
from.
right.
Now watch this, because I want to go back to showing us who we are. Because if I was to ask you, what's your nationality? African American, right? That's what we all say. But that's not our nationality. That's just what we was taught. That's not the truth. Would our enemy teach us the truth? No. He would take our name from us so we would never go back to the truth. The Bible is the truth.
That's right.
That's why we go in here to show our people, to identify with our history, Janae. Watch this, read.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
So God, what? He gave us what?
Commandments.
What did God give us? Commandments. Just like a parent. They give their children what? Commandments. Rules. Don't do this. The garbage needs to be taken out at this time. Make sure you do your homework. Make sure you study. Make sure you clean in the house. If you don't do those things, what happens? You get in trouble. You get a whooping, right? Let's see if God is any different. Read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses.
All these what?
Curses.
So what did God say he would put on us, Janae, if we disobeyed his commandments? He would put curses on us. Is that good or bad? Bad. So now we have to examine and think. Everything in the black Hispanic community is going downhill. It's bad. Why? Because God said if we didn't keep his commandments, he will put curses on us.
Bring it out.
We're going to read these curses. What is these curses going to do? Identify who we are. And we are the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
We are not the so-called black man. We are not the Hispanic man. We are not the spick. We are not the real nigga. We are not the bad bee, the thought. We none of those things. We are God's chosen people.
Bring it out.
That's what we're going to prove right out the Bible. Watch this, verse 32. Because you heard about slavery, right? Who did that happen to? Us, right? Who was us? Sis, I got the same question for you. You heard about slavery, right?
Yeah.
Who did that happen to? Us, right? Watch this. Who was us? Black people, right? Blacks and Hispanic. We went through slavery, right? The worst slavery known to mankind.
Right.
It's so bad they put it on movies every year. A new slave movie come out about how we was oppressed. It's so bad. That's not happening with other races because they never went through it.
Bring it out.
Who did God say will go through that in the Bible? Who is the book of Deuteronomy 2?
That's right.
Deuteronomy 1 and 1. I'm going to show you. Because guess what? These things and atrocities happen to a specific group of people that God was talking about. Watch this, read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Uh-oh, slow down. Let's read it again. Sis, what's your name? I didn't catch it.
My name is Alice.
Alice? Okay, Janae and Alice. Read this. I want y'all to pay attention.
These be the words which Moses spoke unto all Israel.
All who?
Israel.
So who was God speaking to? Israel. He was speaking to the Israelite. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 28. Now watch this. Alice, right?
Yeah.
Alice and Janae. God said he was speaking to the Israelites.
Right.
Now we have to identify who they are through curses. Because he said he was going to do that to them if they didn't obey. 32. Let's see one of the curses God will put on his people for not obeying.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters.
Uh-oh. Listen.
Thy sons and thy daughters
It said thy sons, Janae, and thy daughters, read.
shall be given unto another people.
God said our sons and our daughters will be given, meaning taken from us, and put in another people's hand, read.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
God said when our children will be taken from us, look at these signs right here, Janae. When our children would be taken from us, what did we do? What did our mothers do? They cried. They cried. Why? Because your son, your daughter was taken from you, was snatched from your hands. And you had nothing to do to get them back. Watch, the Bible gonna say that.
And there shall be no might in thy hand.
God said, Janae, there will be no might in our people's hands to get them back. Remember who this book was to. Who? What did God call them? The Israelites. So God said the Israelites in the Bible, children would be taken from them, stripped from their arms, given to a whole nother race of people, and they would serve them, and they would have no power to fight against the enemy and take their children back. God said that would happen to the Israelites.
That's right.
Who did that happen to historically that we call ourselves today? Black people. So according to the Bible, who are we? We the Israelites. That makes us the Israelites. This curse right here proves who we are. This did not happen to the so-called Jewish man. He didn't go through this. His children wasn't ripped from his arms. His baby baby wasn't dashed on rocks like our babies was. This happened to us. Watch this, another curse, 68. Because this is the headbanger. When we went into slavery, how did we go? Because we was in Africa, right? Some of us. West coast of Africa, spread throughout Africa. How do we get to this side of the world? About slave ships, right? Is that in the Bible? Let's see. Verse 68.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Uh-oh. So it said, who was doing this? The Lord. Why? Do you remember why he was doing this to us? Huh? Because of the curse. But why did the curse come upon us? Remember, your parent give you what? Rules, right? We were disobedient. So the Lord said, read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
Do you know anything about the Israelites being in Egypt? They were slaves. I'm going to show you that. Exodus 20 and 2. When we was in Egypt, we was in slavery. That's why Moses did what? Delivered us from slavery.
That's
you heard about
right.
him splitting the Red Sea, we running from the Egyptians got flooded in the water. That was us. That was our forefathers.
That's right.
Moses was a black man, and we can
That's
prove
right.
it out the Bible. A lot of the people you read about in the Bible, they were black men.
That's right.
Moses, Christ, Jeremiah. These people were black. These were our forefathers. But watch this. This is what we were doing in Egypt. Read.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
God said he brought us, Janae, out of the land of Egypt. Now he's going to explain what it is.
Out of the house of bondage.
What is Egypt? Huh? Say it on the mic.
The house of bondage.
Correct. The house of bondage. Now let's go back. Because this is going to explain Deuteronomy 28:68. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Into what? Bondage, right? Bondage again, because we just left out of bondage. So it was new in our mind. We knew what slavery was because we just came up out of it. God is telling us again, back then, he would bring us into bondage, slavery again, with what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
How did the black man go into slavery? With ships. What does the Bible say those people name were? The Israelites. That's right. Say it with confidence.
That's right.
That's what the Bible says. That makes us who? The Israelites. That's who we are. That's our nationality, not black.
Right.
We are the Israelites. You're an Israelite from the tribe of what? Judah. Now, remember, we went into slavery because we did what? We disobeyed. So now we have to figure out what? How to obey. What does God command us to do as Israelites? Huh? The 10 Commandments. Okay. What about the rest of the commandments? It's more than 10 commandments. That's just the umbrella for all the commandments. Because thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. That's under murder. That's a part of the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not murder. That's found under that. Like if a sister got raped, that's under thou shalt not murder. But it don't say thou shalt not rape in the 10 Commandments. So it's more than 10 Commandments. That was just brief. Now we're going to get a commandment to show you. Deuteronomy 22 and 5. How are our sisters supposed to appear when they out here and about, when they own their home, when they own their own at home? How does God desire and commanded our sisters to dress? How do you think?
When I was a kid, my mom wanted us to love me.
Okay. Right. So that's the same thing that God desired of us. But guess what? As we get older and we think we know everything, we start to do our own thing. That's the same thing we did with God. But now we out here to show our people what to do to come back to God. Why? Because we're trying to reverse the curses. This is how we get out of these conditions. This is how we get out the bottom. This is how we get out of seeing abandoned houses on every block. This is how we get out of these conditions, by coming back to what God told us.
That's right.
Because he's the one that put us here. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman shall...
The what?
The woman...
You're a woman, correct? Let's see.
...shall not wear that which pertaineth unto man.
So now I'm going to ask you a question. Does God care about what you wear? He don't. Read it again. Right, why do you say that?
Okay.
Uh-huh. Right. Where is that in the Bible, though? Does God want us? Does God want us to come as we are? Does He?
I said I'm willing to receive.
Oh, go.
Good. So does God want us to come as we are, though? Because if we come as we are, we never increasing, we never growing. We never getting better as a nation of people. So the drug dealer, if he come as he is and he stay like that, we still gonna have drug in our community. If the thief come as he is and he stays a thief, are we gonna improve as a nation of people with a bunch of thieves? No.
That change.
Correct. He's on the right path. That's what we're trying to show you. You right now, you came as you are. We're showing you what God wants you to be like.
That's right.
So you can change into that and improve according to the Bible.
That's right.
You understand? I'm going to read this law. I'm going to ask you the same question. I want you to listen to what the Bible is saying. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 5. And the woman.
And the woman, God's being specific right here. He's speaking to you. Read.
Shall not.
Shall not, meaning what? Don't do, right? Simplest term. Read.
Wear that.
Where?
Which pertaineth unto a man.
So does God care about what a woman wears? Huh? Correct. Good. Yes, He does. Now we're going to get the understanding of what He's saying. Read it again from the top.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
God is saying the woman, so-called black woman, which is an Israelite woman according to the Bible,
that's right,
shall not wear the clothing of a man. What is man's clothing that you wear? Huh? Pants. 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 Are we supposed to wear that according to the Bible? No. That's a form of cross-dressing. That is cross-dressing.
Bring it out.
Guess what? Read on. Let's see what else God said.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
You hear that, Janae? Even the man cannot put on your clothing. What's that? The dress and the skirt, like you said your mother told you about. All the way down. We're not supposed to wear that.
To scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.